literacy means everything. If you know how to communicate your inner voice, you can uh, 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 clearly present your point. Literacy doesn't mean only illiteracy means you are unable to read or write, but I think illiteracy has in another sense a bigger meaning, like you can do something and you can do something. So in a sense everyone is illiterate at a certain level, uh, because there is something which we can do and which we can't do. So in order to remove this, basically illiteracy, we can do one thing which like setting our goals. If we set our goals, we can clearly set our certain steps to remove the illiteracy. If we if we do uh, the if we make our steps to remove these, we are almost become literate, because unable to do something in this world is basically, to my opinion, is illiteracy. uh, Talking about the real world, literacy rate in Kerala is very high, and literacy basically means to the development. If we are more literate, we are more enabled to solve our problems, not only our day-to-day lives problems, but also the real world problems. Even the most successful entrepreneurs and the most successful entrepreneurs, they are also working on this idea only, and basically setting a goal and working towards it makes you out of box, and basically uh, takes you towards the literacy.
Okay,
Okay, how
so
much time?
Chandan, you have taken the time 2 minute 15 seconds.
Had anybody had ran the stopwatch?
Yes, I have. You have taken the
How
time
much?
around 2 minute and 15 seconds.
Yes.
Yes.
No,
Okay, so Chandan, if you don't want to continue, you can leave.
no, I want to hear the different
Okay,
topics which
okay,
you
Chandan.
will speak
Okay.
about.
So may I start with it?
Ravi, before starting, give the topics to the other one, means to Tinku.
Post your topic, Ravi, for the other people. And
Okay, Ravi, you can start.
So I have chosen the topic reservation in India, topic given by Chandan. And here goes. I will start with the introduction. There are 38% of doctors in USA we have seen, and there are many places where India holds a lot of talent all over the world, like in NASA, Microsoft, IBM. We have got a lot of Indians there. Still, India is backward, and that is because of our selfish politicians, I will say, who encourage reserve more than deserve. I believe that institution should be based on performance, just on how how the people are performing, and the sport should be on the basis on pure performance. If someone doesn't have a skill to score century, forget someone like Virat Kohli. All can't just become like him, but unless it is like them if they perform well, then they should be deserved and they should get that. Simple it is. It nurtures competition. It's a healthy competition that will get nurtured, inspiration, and someone will get motivated by that as reservation cuts off all of this. I suppose Indian Cricket Board decides that 20% of Indian teams should be from rural places or sets up some kind of criteria based upon caste, then India, such a team will not be able to uh, perform, and this will just demotivate the deserving one. Reservation is just not illogical, I will say, and it's so stupid, but it is a crime against humanity. But on the other hand, as as the politicians that time have made it because of the income or the people living there, so they should have some few changes on this reservation policy at least. Thus, I would like to conclude it by that reservation should be abolished or it should be applied of financial status or BPL, or it may be in future like 20 or 30 years it should be abolished because if the system continues, India is developing country and India is developing country and it will remain a developing country forever. And it also uh, have a role in the unity of the country. People will not cope up with this in future, and they should the current government or the government should take a step to prove the word equality in the constitution. And then someone was noticing my
Yes, time up, Ravi. So you time up, and next who is next?
I have given topic for the next one. Next
Tinku, I think.
Tinku.
Yes, Tinku. Before starting, give topics and then start.
Okay, okay, I am typing.
And please observe the things. Huh? You will give a feedback at
Uh, Healthy body leads to healthy mind. Good evening, everybody.
Okay,
I am
wait,
Dushyant
wait,
Kumar.
wait, Tinku,
Today
Tinku. For there is a confusion over here.
what?
So Tinku, you are given the topic that is for the Sanjana. Okay, Sanjana.
Yeah, I have
yeah,
already.
yeah, yeah, I will correct myself. That's possible.
Okay, Sanjana was having some confusion. So yes, now you can start, Ravi. Ravi, no, Tinku.
Uh, healthy healthy body leads to the healthy mind. Good evening, everybody. I am Dushyant Kumar. Today I am going to talk about sports in India. So, the tradition of sports is very rich in India. You know, as we see in the Kushti and Kabaddi, these are the ruler game of India. And now also India are doing very good in these games. So, what are the challenges and what are the solution of it? Like recently we have seen in the Olympic Games, we have just won 7 medals. But other countries, the same population have like China and other countries like America and many others, which population is very less from India, are winning many more medals. So the first reason is that we are focusing much in the cricket and we are less focused in other game. And as we see that in education, if we are at the 100 position in our village and in any other in any other area in our school, so we can manage our life very well. We can become doctor, we can become engineer. But as we see in the sports, if we are 100 or 200 position, nothing is going to us with us, nothing can happen of us. So I think this is the main reason that India is not working well in sports, because there is the there is the lack of future security of future. So this is the one reason. And second is the when the someone win the Olympic medals, we we give so much money that person that after that the winning of any medals in next Olympic and others games is reduced. So we are not just focusing the new player, and we are not giving so much money before that. We are giving money after winning the medal. बस यार इतना ही है।
2 minutes 25 seconds.
think
यार नहीं हो पा रहा।
कोई नहीं हो जाएगा. You spoke really well.
प्रैक्टिस करते रहे यार, हो जाएगा, काहे नहीं होगा.
यार वो मतलब मैंने
नहीं होगा.
कैसे सही से कैसे इसको मतलब स्ट्रक्चर करना है।
ठीक है, फॉर्मेशन अच्छा था तेरा, ऐसा कोई इशू नहीं. अच्छा.
देख सिंपल, मैं जो ट्रिक यूज करता हूँ वो तुझे बता दे रहा हूँ.
ओके ओके,
ठीक है,
बाद में
अगर
संजीव,
अच्छा
बाद
लगे
में
तो
बात
कर
करेंगे
सकते
इस बारे में, पहले
हैं. अरे हाँ,
हो जाए
We
लेक्चरर
will
हो
have
जाए.
a feedback session that time.
Okay, so
ओके.
Sanjana, give
कितने दिन
topics to
में?
another one, to another member, and you can start.
Uh, Good evening, everyone. This is
Please type
Sanjana
topic
Chaudhary,
first
and
Put the topic first ना
for
for
Ankit.
Ankit.
Put the
wait,
topic first on the chat for the next one to come.
yes. Good evening, everyone. The topic I chose is the Kashmir conflict. And the question is, how did it start? So, the dispute between India and Pakistan over Kashmir was sparked by a fateful decision in 1947. And it has resulted in decades of violence, including two wars. So, since 1947, India and Pakistan have been locked in conflict over Kashmir, a majority of Muslim people, a region where Muslim people are in majority in the northernmost part of India. It was once a princely state, and now it is claimed by both the sides, India and Pakistan. The roots of this conflict lie in the country's shared colonial past when, from the 17th to 20th century, Britain ruled most of the Indian subcontinent as its colony. First, indirectly through the British East India Company, and then directly through British Crown. Over time, Britain's power over India weakened, and the growing nationalist movements threatened the crown's slipping rule. Uh, it it feared a civil war between India's Hindu majority and Muslim minority. Britain faced increasing pressure to grant independence to India, and after World War II, the East India Company's parliament decided that the rule of British over India should end by 1948. Britain historically had separate electorates for Muslim citizens and reserved some political seats specifically for Muslims. That divided us more, and that not only divided Muslims into a minority status but also fueled a growing Muslim separatist movement. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, well-known politician who headed up India's Muslim League party, began demanding a separate nation for India's Muslim population. It is a high time that the British government applied their mind. They used their policy of divide and rule, definitely to divide India and the
25
establishment of
second remaining.
Pakistan and Hindustan, which means freedom for both. Jinnah mentioned in 1945. As the religious riots broke out across British India, leaving 10 to 12 thousands of dead, British and Indian leaders began to seriously consider a
Time up.
partition of the.
Time's up.
Okay, so for Ankit, you will give topic to the Sanjeev now. You can start, Ankit, now.
Okay. So my topic is sex education and socially awkward high school students, OTs, may not much have experience in the overmaking department, but he gets good guidance on the topic in his personal sex ed course, Living with Mom Jean, who is a sex therapist, being surrounded by manuals, videos, tediously open conversations about sex. Otis has become a reluctant expert on the subject, while his classmates learn about his home life. Otis decides to use his insider knowledge to improve his status at school. So he teams with a whip smart bad girl, Smith, to set up an underground sex therapy clinic to deal with their classmates' problem. But through this, his analysis of teenage sexuality, Otis realized that he may need some therapy of his own. This is an Amazon sex education film based on Netflix. That is what when I am referring for. Nothing to speak about sex education, and I will be ending my topic here.
Okay, then Sanjeev will wait for 2 minutes. After that, you can give topics to me.
Okay.
What just happened here?
I'm giving topics, and after that, I will start my lecture.
Okay, Sanjeev.
Good evening, everyone. My topic is paid media. So I would like to start with grabbing attention of all of you about the very famous quote that media is the fourth pillar of the democracy, and role of media in democracy is very crucial as it not only become a channel by which government can interact with the people, also how people can interact with the government in the democracy. So if you can clearly understand with with the word media that it is a medium of communication. But in case of paid media is like it is paid by someone who is powerful or someone who has money. It got influenced by other person and start spreading their ideology, and this ideology eventually become propaganda, and it harms not only the democracy but also harms the people's welfare. So paid media is nowadays a very biggest threat for the whole nation, not only whole nation as well as the whole world society. Because in case of paid media, if somebody is paying you, if somebody is paying the media to propagate his propaganda, it will it will not harm whole world, because you will not come to know what is the real truth is. The ideal duty of the media is what an ideal media house should do is to give a proper news, what is the correct, what is truth. Like, it seek truth and deliver the truth to its to its observers, so people can understand what is going on, what is good for them. Rather than doing this, a paid media used to promote the ideology of their peers. So we should understand that paid media will not do anything for the goods of the people, and we should be aware about which media is paid media and which is not. For that we should authenticate the news with the other sources as well, what we are getting from the one source of media. So with that being said, I'm adding one last point to it, that media should do their job ideally by just providing the facts, not by playing with the facts and misleading the whole citizens, whole nation about what their peer wants to deliver towards the citizen of any country, or for the whole world. With that being said, I'm resting my voice. How much time was it?
2 minutes 50 seconds or
I'm
55.
on time.
Okay, I can start now, guys, and then you keep track of time. And after 10,
Not audible, Omkar. You are not audible.
okay. So now I'm audible.
Yeah.
Okay,
Clear.
so
How's it?
before 25 second, na, you remember me that 25 seconds remaining. Okay, Chandan.
Okay.
I will remind you. I will remind you.
Okay, so
Start.
okay, so gentlemen, I have chosen the fundamental right topic for my lecture. So I would like to start with the very basic that fundamental right was firstly given by the United States of America, and it was the concept of the United States of America, where it is called as Magna Carta. We have taken. I will from nowward I will speak in the with respect to of the Indian Constitution. So in the Indian Constitution we have taken the fundamental rights from the American Constitution, and which consists of various rights like right to freedom, right to life, right to privacy, right against exploitation, and again the basic the DPSP which suggested that right of education, which was taken as a fundamental right in 2002 after the amendment. So these are the some basic right that a human being is required, then he must be living at any country. The Indian Constitution have provided these basic fundamental rights for the to have a very balanced life. And after that, to secure these rights, they have the provision of the writs, and that is itself a fundamental rights. So I think that is the beauty of the constitution. And in these writs we have the four writs, which actually we can directly go to the Supreme Court if the fundamental rights of our any fundamental right gets violated by any authority. And so I think in for the basic life, and to have a normal life and a respected life, every constitution must have the fundamental rights. But we have seen some cases like North Korea, and North Korea, where there are some restrictions on the fundamental rights. And but in India we can see that uh, we have these rights, and the people are living with dignity, and with the with they can proceed with the life very easily.
22 seconds left.
Okay, so I will conclude here. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone